As the success of the so-called minor ports has shown, that ports can be an attractive investment possibility for private sector. Ports in public sector need to both attract such investment as well as leverage the huge land resource lying unused with them. To enable us to do so, ports in public sector will be encouraged to corporatize and become companies under the Companies Act. Madam Speaker, investors spend a large amount of time and resources in getting multiple permissions required. We aim towards ease of doing business. I have myself launched an e-biz portal which integrates 14 regulatory permissions at one source. Good states are embracing and joining this platform. However, if we really want to create jobs, we have to make India an investment destination which permits the start of business in accordance with publicly stated guidelines and criteria. आज permissions में ही सालों साल लग जाते हैं, project शुरू नहीं होते. I intend to appoint an expert committee for the purpose to examine the possibility and prepare a draft legislation where the need for multiple prior permissions can be replaced with a pre-existing regulatory mechanism. आपका regulatory mechanisms में guidelines होंगी, उसके मुताबिक काम शुरू कीजिए, prior permissions का ये substitute होगा. The government also proposes to set up 5 ultra mega power projects, each of 4,000 megawatts, and plug and play mode. All clearances and linkages will be in place before the project is awarded by a transparent auction system. This should unlock investment to the extent of rupees 1 lakh crore. The government would also consider similar plug-and-play projects in other infrastructure projects such as roads, ports, rails, airports, etc. I am happy to announce that the second unit of the Kodanakulam nuclear power station will be commissioned in the year 15-16. Madam Speaker, I hope to garner some additional resources during the year for tax buoyancy. If I am successful, then over and above what I have provided in the budget allocation, I will enhance the allocation to MNREGA by 5,000 crores. Madam Saab, Khadke Saab बहुत प्रसन्न होंगे. This will make
Please.
I am responding. Why you are so much worried?
Madam, this will have two features. This will make this year's allocation the highest ever in MNREGA, सबसे अधिक होगी, और उसके साथ साथ जो रूरल वेजेस कम हो रही हैं उसको बढ़ाने में भी ये लाभ देगी. I will further be allocating to the Integrated Child Development Scheme another 1,500 crores, to Integrated Child Protection Scheme another 500 crores, and to the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana another 3,000 crores, and an initial inflow of rupees 5,000 crores into the National Infrastructure Investment Fund, which I have just announced. Financial markets. One vital factor in promoting investment in India, including the infrastructure sector, is deepening of the Indian bond markets, which will have to bring at the same level as our world-class equity market. I intend to begin this process this year by setting up a public debt management agency which will bring both India's external borrowings and domestic debt under one roof. I also propose to merge the Forward Markets Commission with SEBI to strengthen the regulation of the commodity forward market and reduce wild speculation. Enabling legislation amending Government Securities Act and the RBI Act is proposed in the Finance Bill. Capital accounts controls is a policy rather than a regulatory matter. I propose to amend through the Finance Bill Section 6 of FEMA to clearly provide that control of capital flows as equity will be exercised by the government. A properly functioning capital market also requires proper consumer protection. I therefore propose to create a task force to establish a sector-neutral financial redressal agency that will give grievances against all financial service providers that will address. I am also glad to inform the House that the work assigned to the Task Force on Financial Data Management Center, Financial Sector Appellate Tribunal, the Resolution Corporation, the Public Debt Management Agency are progressing satisfactorily. We have also received a large number of suggestions from the Indian Financial Code, which are currently being reviewed by the Justice Sri Krishna Committee. I hope sooner than later to introduce the Indian Financial Code in Parliament for consideration. Madam Speaker, this is just the beginning. I have a vision of putting in place a direct tax regime which is internationally competitive on rates, is without exemptions, incentivizes savings, and does not realize tax from intermediaries. Such a direct regime would be matched by a modernized indirect tax regime we are putting in place by way of GST and will bring both greater transparency and greater investment. Madam Speaker, with regard to the dormant Employees Provident Fund accounts and the claim ratios of the ESI is too well known to be repeated here. It has been remarked that both EPF and ESI have hostages rather than clients. Further, the low-paid worker suffers deductions greater than better-paid workers in percentage terms. With respect to Employees Provident Fund, the employee needs to be provided with two options. Firstly, the employee may opt for EPF or for the new pension scheme. Secondly, for employees below a certain threshold of income, contributions to EPF should be optional without affecting or reducing the employer's contribution. With respect to ESI, the employee should have the option of choosing either ESI or health insurance product recognized by the IDRA. We intend to bring amending legislation in this regard after stakeholder consultation. Madam, India is the largest consumer of gold in the world. It imports as much as 800 to 1,000 tons of gold each year. Those stocks of gold are estimated to be over 20,000 tons. Mostly this gold is neither traded nor monetized. I propose the following. 1. Introduce a gold monetization scheme which will replace both the present gold deposit and gold metal loans. The new scheme will allow depositors of gold to earn interest in their metal account and jewelers to obtain loans in their metal account. Banks and other dealers would also be able to monetize this gold. 2. Develop an alternative financial asset, a sovereign gold bond, as an alternative to purchasing metal gold. The bond will carry a fixed rate of interest and also be redeemable in cash in terms of face value of gold at a time of redemption by the holder of bond. 3. Commence work on developing the Indian gold coin which carries the Ashoka Chakra on its face. Such an Indian gold coin would help to reduce the demand for coins minted outside India and also help to recycle the gold available in the country. On way to curb the flow of black money is to discourage transactions in cash. Now majority of Indians has or can have a RuPay debit card. All Jan Dhan account holders have a RuPay debit card. I therefore produce to announce very soon several measures that will incentivize credit or debit card transactions and disincentivize cash transactions. This will be in the direction of making India a cashless society. Alternative investment funds have been notified by SEBI. Such alternative investment funds provide another vehicle for facilitating domestic investments. Keeping in view the need to increase investment from all sources, I propose to allow foreign investment in alternative investment funds. To simplify further the procedures of Indian companies to attract foreign investment, I propose to do away with the distinction between different types of foreign investment, especially between foreign portfolio investment and foreign direct investment, and replace them with composite caps. The sectors which are already on a 100% automatic route would not be affected. The Act East policy of the Government of India endeavors to cultivate extensive economic and strategic relations in Southeast Asia. In order to catalyze investment from private sector in this region, a project development company will, through separate special purpose vehicles, will set up manufacturing hubs in CMLV countries, namely Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam. My government is committed to the safety and security of women. In order to support the programs of women security, advocacy and awareness, I have decided to provide another 1,000 crores to the Nirbhaya Fund. While India has 25 World Cultural Heritage Sites, their facilities are still deficient and require restoration, including landscape restoration, signage, interpretation, centers, parking, access for differently abled visitors. Amenities including securities, toilets, illumination, plans for benefiting communities and around them. I propose this year, and I hope this practice continues for next year's onwards also, to start working on these lines and develop with central support the following heritage sites. 1. The churches and convents of Old Goa. 2. Hampi in Karnataka, Elephanta Caves in Mumbai, Kumbhalgarh and other city forests of Rajasthan, Rani Ka Vav in Patan in Gujarat, Leh Palace Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir, the Varanasi Temple Town, the Jallianwala Bagh at Amritsar, and the Kutub Shahi Tombs at Hyderabad, Telangana. Wait. After the success
Yes.
After the success of the visas on arrival issued to travelers of 43 countries. 43 countries. Madam, last year we had announced visas on arrival in 43 countries. The tourism in this country has increased. I propose to increase the countries covered under this scheme to 150 in different stages. Madam, as environment degradation hurts the poor more than others, we are committed to making our development process as green as possible. Our de facto carbon tax on most petroleum products compares favorably with international norms. With regard to coal, there is a need to balance between taxing pollution and the price of power. However, beginning this year, I intend to start on that journey too. My government is launching a scheme for faster adoption and manufacturing electric vehicles. I am proposing an initial outlay of 75 crores in this scheme for 15-16. The Ministry of New Renewable Energy has revised its target of renewable energy to 1,75,000 megawatts in 2022, comprising of 100,000 in solar, 60,000 in wind, 10,000 in biomass, and 5,000 of small hydro. Madam Speaker, we are putting the scam, scandal, and corruption raj behind us. Malfeasance in public procurement, can perhaps be contained by having a procurement law and an institutionalized structure consistent with the UNCITRAL model law. I believe Parliament now needs to take a view on the need to have a procurement law, and if so, in what shape it should take. On the other hand, disputes arising out of public contracts take a long time to resolve and the process is very costly. इसकी वजह से projects अटके रहते हैं. My government proposes to introduce a public contracts resolution of disputes bill to streamline the institutional arrangement of such disputes, institutional arrangement for resolution of such disputes. There is also a need, I feel, to tackle the lack of common approach and philosophy in regulatory arrangements prevailing even within the different sectors of infrastructure. Our government therefore proposes to introduce a regulatory reform law and will bring about a cogency of approach across various sectors of infrastructure. India is one of the youngest nations of the world, with more than 54% of the total population below 25 years of age. Our young people have to be both educated and employable for the jobs of the 21st century. The Prime Minister has explained on how Skill India needs to be closely coordinated with Make in India. Yet today, less than 5% of our potential workforce gets formal skill training to be employable and stay employable. We will soon be launching a national skills mission through Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Ministry. The mission will consolidate skill initiatives spread across several ministries and allow us to standardize procedures and outcomes of our 31 sectors skill councils. With rural population still forming close to 70% of India's population, enhancing employability of rural youth is the key, or to unlocking India's demographic dividend. With this in mind, we have launched the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kushal Yojana. Rupees 1,500 crores has been set apart for this scheme. Disbursement will be through a digital voucher directly into qualified student bank account. This year, when we will be entering the 100th birth anniversary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, the intention of the government is to celebrate the anniversary of the great nationalist in a befitting manner. A 100th birthday celebration committee will be announced soon and adequate resources provided for the same. With a view to enable all poor and middle class students to pursue higher education in their choice without constraint of funds, I propose to set up a fully IT-based student financial aid authority to administer and monitor scholarship, as also the educational loan scheme through the Pradhan Mantri Vidya Lakshmi Karyakram. We will ensure that no student misses out on higher education for lack of funds. Honorable members will remember that in the budget speech of July, I had indicated my intention to provide one major central institution to each state. मैडम, इसमें कोई रह जाए तो साल के दौरान बजट के बाद भी हम लोग कंसिडर कर लेंगे. In this fiscal year, I propose to set up an All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh and Assam. Keeping in view the need to augment medical services in Bihar, jahan already AIIMS hai, I propose to set up another AIIMS-like institution in that state. I propose to set up an IIT in Karnataka, upgrade the Indian School of Mines Dhanbad to a full IIT. I propose to set up a postgraduate institute of horticulture research in Amritsar. AIIMS will be set up in Jammu and Kashmir and Andhra Pradesh. In Kerala, I propose to upgrade the existing National Institute of Speech and Hearing into a University of Disability Studies and Rehabilitation. I am also proposing 3 new national institutions of pharmaceutical education and research in Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, and institutions of science and educational research in Nagaland and Odisha. I am also proposing for Northeast to set up a center for film production, animation and gaming in Arunachal Pradesh, and an apprentice training institute for women in Haryana and Uttarakhand.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.